live. We're just going to run around. Okay. Golly gee willikers. This is showing. Not showing what I'm doing at all. It should be showing live. It's not. I don't know why. Now I just want to go to my channel dashboard. All right. I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Something changed in the last week, and no one bothered to tell me. Okay. All right. This is showing a live going on. All right, here we go. All right, something went wrong there. We're back in action, it looks like. Just slide this over. Frustrating as all get out. When I guess that's what was making it so easy through October, because I was doing so many lives. It just didn't seem to matter. I just start it and go. Hold on, I got a little problem with the plug here. Something that's rolling around. You're like, this is on top of something. Okay. I think I'm okay here. Still seems a little rattly. Okay. Hopefully this is okay. All right. This is bouncing around too. Plug that in because my memory's not the best. Whew. Wow, I can't believe this is taking 7-8 minutes to do this. All right, let's see if we can actually get to some drawing being done, which was the intent initially. I was going to talk about, I keep trying. It's written on here someplace. I don't even know if I had this. I think I've lost most. Does it mention the artist? Yeah, Bill Wenzel. This is Larry Wilde did a whole series of joke books in the mid-late 70s, early 80s. Eventually they disappeared. I remember it must have taken birthday or holiday, Christmas money or something, and I bought a few. There, the initial names were the official joke book, fill in a blank, Polish, Italian. Then he came back and did more. And the books were split in two, with illustrations by Wenzel inside too. So there's a whole bunch of illustrations in here. And of course, you can see it very 70s. I don't know what money Wenzel got for these, but I hope he got a lot. Some of these I know are a little risque. A petition signed in a Polish neighborhood, all X's and checks, and nobody actually signing it. Today, these would be, you'd never get these at a bookstore. So they're actually hard to find because you're not supposed to do Polish. And basically, Polish jokes or Italian jokes are British jokes, or American jokes are, you just fill in the blank and change the name. A lot of really good drawings in here. And it's unfortunate that, December 1975, there you are. So this is more, the earlier one came before 75, so the early 70s through the early 80s. They started disappearing in the mid 80s, or at least I don't recall seeing them. And they weren't reprinted, I don't believe. Pinnacle posted. Pinnacle's still very, very busy, but they're located somewhere else, and they're no longer, Pinnacle's under another name. Anyway, these the jokes are, this is on the official Italian joke book, but this could be any, this could be a German, or it could be anybody. But anyway, the cartoons are really neat, and they're really throughout. I really like how that was being done, because it was so hard to find work, and here you have this book, and I'm not all the way throughout, but then also you had these water, obviously they were watercolor, Real nice little illustrations. And then this case, I think these drawings should have been different because when this was sitting on a bookshelf, I remember these being at B. Dalton and Walden Books. You couldn't really see the drawing very well. In fact, even now, it's hard. I mean, if I can come in and zoom in, it's easy now to see what's going on, but you had to zoom in. So they weren't practical for the covers, and it wasn't just these two. I remember so many of these were just, some of them I think most all of them were white, but there were a few that had yellow covers. I'm not sure if those were earlier or later. I mean, this seems pretty easy, but really you should make this guy shorter, or lean him back or lean him forward, because his pizza doesn't read well. It would read better if you actually drew pepperoni on there, but that now it seems to be negating what I'm saying about this. Those kind of details would be seen from a distance. But here, when you get up close, is that a pizza or is that just a big? It looks like a big, butter cracker with some red stuff on it, doesn't it? It doesn't quite read. Wenzel did some great work. I consider myself very good at black and white. My colors, what's not the best. He was not great with the color. He was very good with the black and white. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that one of the paperbacks I recently picked up. I think I still retain some of them. I lost some in my move, I believe. I had a bunch of them, but anyway, I just thought I'd share Bill Wenzel's work, who is generally unknown. But back in the 70s, these books were everywhere, and they're very, very popular, and they sold like crazy. He had a slew of them. They don't give a list here, do they, of them? Well, it's hard because they go upside down, right side up. And Larry Wall was a gag writer. He wrote for TV. No, there's no list because it's all just jokes. In fact, joke books in general were very popular back then. There's Christopher Urich. Says what you could, Christopher, you could take these on a hike and go tell Polish jokes all over the place. Or you can go tell Italian jokes all over the place. Do you remember these books from back in the 70s? Very, very, very popular. And they sold like crazy. So he did, as I say, he did, I don't know, but there's probably 2 or 3 dozen of these that were made. All paperbacks, all two-sided. Nifty. And they weren't, and let me also point out where's the price tag on them? Here we go, $1.25. $1.25. So they weren't all that expensive. Pinnacle still is with us, though. They are part of Kensington, if I recall correctly, today. All right, so what to draw? Let's see. I was going to also share a bit here with I was in Aldi, and they had the new Kinder Advent calendar. So if you're ready to get started for Christmas, here you go. I've not opened it. Maybe I'll do that. Actually, right here, I could open it. I'll open it another time, another one of these, another time. But I find it interesting, an advent calendar that has all this information about nutrition, taking up so much real estate on this poor thing. But you get all kinds of the Kinder. And why I like Kinder chocolates, they're not like American chocolates. They're more like European chocolates, so they're not too sweet, they're not too heavy, and frankly, they're better for you because it's real cocoa. They don't. That's the great thing about European, and this is Ferraro, which makes all the Kinder stuff now. Kinder used to be separate. Okay, let's see what we do. I think Christopher came and went. Okay, what to draw? What's on anyone's mind? I was at a veterans event earlier today in Bushnell, Florida, and I had lunch. Maybe do something out. Do something with where's that little brush thing? Maybe a little brush thing. At the Coney Island in Bushnell, had a Carolina burger had onion rings and slaw in it. Veterans Day, of course, Tuesday. I'll be at another event Tuesday for Veterans Day. I posted it on my Facebook page. Can't really do it here. My friend Christopher, listen to me. Celeste Ellick, who's at Washington, D.C. for the National. Celeste served in, and I should remember this, I believe it was the Army. She's very, very active in military stuff in Broward County. And in fact, she's pulled me into some of those. I've helped her with a few. It's been quite a few years. Okay, so it had onion rings in it. which aren't necessarily traditionally North Carolina. And they have small onion rings. And feel free to put something up in the comment area, animal or something, or whatever comes to mind where it might be around you. Definitely a very full few days I've had here. And slaw. I like Coney Island's coleslaw, but they don't put much into these hamburgers. I still maintain their American burger is the best. It comes with a flag on the top, and it's really good. And it tends to be that's lettuce, tomato, and onion, and it's very good. I ran into, I don't like going to Walmart, but there's a nutrition drink I like there specifically, and I've actually had it checked over nutritionally. It's better than, or as good as, if not better than Boost. And it's not as fattening. It's just good. It's their chocolate. The problem is they sell out like crazy. Anyway, I was in there, and as I was checking out, I saw they had try to make sure I get texture of this bun. They had a barbecue sandwich, a barbecue brisket type. Now, I just been coming back from, the heck was I? Oh, I taught that homeschool class Tuesday about Florida history. And there was some heavy talk that I've got to do a podcast with Florida history, which I would do here with video and talk about Florida history. My problem will be what to talk about. There's so much. Name anything. I could just reach behind me, pick up anything. Well, I have some Christmas books. Okay, I pull out one thing. What is that, nuts? Okay, we talk about the history of the nut industry in Florida. It's massive. It's vast. It's still very busy today. It was busier at one time. The problem with the nut industry, listen, I'm about to go off here, but the problem with the nut industry today is that most of the nuts are leaving the country, are leaving our state and going to other countries, to the point that we don't have as many nuts being made because they're still being done in other places and not so much here. So if you want to get Florida, and here's the industry's run by basically the union. So if you can't sell a handful of nuts. You have to sell giant bags of nuts so they can go be shipped overseas. It's, again, big business, big business. So giant sacks of peanuts and walnuts and pecans or pecans, they have to go buy big giant bags and go all over the world. If you want, I talked to some folks. I was at a peanut festival a few weeks ago, and I was talking to some folks who make peanut butter. Where is that peanut butter? I had it around here, I think. Anyway, they told me they have to basically pilfer the local nuts from people who have kind of leftover stuff, and that's how they make their peanut butter. Otherwise, all their peanuts come from Georgia. They can't get them from Florida because of this union thing. They say Florida's a free state. No, it's one of the most confining places in the, probably not just the country but beyond. Anyway, I just pull out one thing, pull out nuts. I can start talking about it. I can go on from there. And I think it's a sad thing that we're not able to make all the peanuts we want because some union tells you can't sell them individually. I know Florida Farm Bureau used to sell little bags of peanuts. Apparently those are no longer available. In fact, the Peanut Association lady told me that herself, and then the person who had handmade peanuts, no association between the two, told me the same thing. All right. So anyway, I could talk about Florida stuff just looking at any one thing. It's about candles and baskets, and I guess that's a chipmunk. Bill Wenzel would probably ink this better or draw this better. I'm sure what that is. Anyway, back to hamburgers. So I'll do one. I just got to figure out what subjects to do. I could do probably hours about hamburgers in Florida. My dear friend Steve Voorhees died, and Steve used to work at A&W Root Beer. Well, let's draw root beer. Where's Missy Busby? She's such a huge fan of root beer. She's probably busy drinking some right now, and that's why she's not here. But the A&W Root Beer place on Colonial Drive in Orlando was a drive-through place. You drive up, and I forget if Steve said they roller skated. He didn't roller skate, but it was his after-school job. And I know my father loved A&W Root Beer places, so the suspicion is Steve likely served my father at some point. But Steve still has his name tag from A&W Root Beer from the 60s. It's sad we don't have. There's only one A&W Root Beer place in the whole state. It's in Spring Hill. And maybe that, hopefully that will change. I like it too. I think those kind of places are more happier places. And children need those. I was doing happy animal drawings yesterday. Seems like 1,000 years ago now. For all whoever. I haven't posted any here. I should post it on this little Facebooky type thing they have here. Steve would always come each year to Beefy King and get my Christmas print. And I mentioned that, and his daughter wants to come in his place to keep the tradition going. I love it. We need traditions so badly. Keeps us grounded. Look, I'm doing an ad for Walgreens. They used to have drawings like this. Our photographs actually on their menu. Who was I talking to about Howard Johnson's yesterday? Oops, I'm kind of off the screen there. Now the question, what do I do with this? I could show you my Christmas print. I'll probably do a live tomorrow and work on it a little bit. It's on its way. I really got to try to get it done tomorrow. I've got 3 things to get done tomorrow. I don't know if I can get it done tomorrow. I have a caricature I have to pencil out. I don't think I'll do that here. It takes a lot of thinking and planning. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet for the scene that the caricature of the person will be part of. I gotta think of that. All right, well, let's say this is Steve Voorhees. I wonder if I could draw Steve. I'll say Steve had an unusual look. Steve's problem, and I know Christopher does this, is Steve smoked. Smokey killed him. Smokey killed my father. Christopher does a lot of hiking. That's good that he exercises, but that smoking, all the hiking does not negate the cigarette stuff. It never leaves you. My father was a health nut. He dumps cigarettes, but it wasn't enough. It's so many nutrition. Oh, he had 10 tons of vitamins everywhere. Get me to eat them. And well, I'm tempted to put a cigarette in his mouth, but Steve was with the city of Orlando, and he was the mailroom clerk. So he handled all the mail for the whole city. So he knew the mayor's office as well as he knew the janitorial staff. He did it all. He loved to tell jokes. In fact, if he was here and saw those the Larry Wild books, I'm sure he bought some at Colonial Plaza at the Walden's that was there. Steve loved hamburgers. And he was a frequent flyer on Colonial Drive. There was a Steak and Shake. And his daughter was it his daughter? I think it was his daughter who worked there. So he would go and hang out there. It was like a little cubby thing that he apparently was his seat. And he once posted on Facebook a picture of that seat area, and he had just walked in the door, and he'd walked in. There was a coffee already waiting for him. He hadn't even sat down yet. And it's whether his daughter worked there or not. I just expected him to be come in. Not bad for off the top of my head, I think. Not that you know what Steve looked like necessarily, but there you are. He was very thin. I think he went to Boone High School, if I recall correctly. I know he didn't go to Edgewater. He went to Boone, I believe. He was 77. To me, he looked like there were more wrinkles. He had a lot of wrinkles anyway. It was just him. I didn't know he'd gotten that old. Wait a minute, 77. So he was in high school, and so so definitely it was Boone and or Edgewater. So it had to be Boone. Oh my God! I just gave him. I just added about 50 pounds on him right there. But I was trying to get A&W in. But he said he loved that job, going up and serving all the hamburgers and milkshakes and so on at A&W. And my father loved that. He never served it, but he loved the whole A&W thing and Steak and Shakes and places like it. Something you really don't find anymore. I'm fortunate to have been able to live at a time when I could go into the Walgreens or Woolworth and go up to the lunch counter. I was poor, so I couldn't do as much as others could of my age, but I was glad I was able to do that a few times at least, a number of times, more than a few. Some of my classmates did it quite often, but not I. And where I was raised was a drugstore called Albert's Drugs, and they had a lot. They had a lunch counter and milkshake area. Now there, I was there quite a number, a good deal of time. I don't even know how to say it. So went there a few times a year. Let's put it that way. It's no longer with us. In fact, there was a park named after Mr. Albert, and it just got bulldozed. Got to keep those contractors money in their pockets. Forget history and heritage. There's a milkshake. Oh, where we are. McKetchin Lake in Brooksville today. You weren't too far. I was not. The 2 days before this, I had gone nonstop again, and I've got to stop doing that. I'm just not. And I know if I hike more, it's funny. I'm saying about your cigarette smoking, but in my case, I just need to get out, and I'm just keep myself so busy. Because on Tuesday I'm doing a veterans event as with a congresswoman and a bunch of other folks, and I'm getting there early so I can help set up. So hopefully I'll be picking up chairs and moving them and putting them down, opening them up, and this and that, and everything else. Next Saturday I could be. Next Saturday is I believe I will be going to the Pioneer Museum in Dade City. It's a Civil War reenactment. I'll have a few friends there who do reenactments, and look forward to see how their setup is. I've not been to one of the reenactments at the Pioneer Museum. I'm also hoping to find out what's going on with the Pasco County Historical Society, which I'm getting run around in circles about and making me not happy. Because I want to go and rejoin, but they seem to be a mess. Steve. Yeah, so do watch yourself, Christopher. Just be warned that all it will come back to you, but how it comes back is what you don't know. Steve never expected it. He and I spoke about his cigarette smoking. And he just, well, he got what he was figuring he would. It just apparently just happened suddenly. He wasn't in a hospital or anything. Whereas my father had prostate cancer, which came from the cigarette smoking. And it went on for a number of years, and then it took him out. And I was there, and I was just telling my cousin the story of his watching the cancer eat through his lung, and on the other side of the lung was his aorta, and there was nothing the medical staff could do about it. I'll never forget that video, though. Wow, that was something. That was something. Because I'm looking at this video of this cancer eating through his lung and into the aorta, and there's my father's right over, just over there in a bed. And yeah, he was dead inside of 36 hours. And he'd stopped smoking 25 years before that. It doesn't matter. It stays with you. Now, Steve had not stopped. I think he'd cut back a bit, but he hadn't stopped. But he was great to, yeah, he was funny. Steve was so funny. And his posts on Facebook were funny. I think the only thing I might have cut back some of the interaction with Steve is that he is a conservative Republican, and he posted a lot. He didn't post some of the crazy stuff you see out there. I mean, it wasn't all Trump. I don't know if he ever posted anything about Trump. It was just funny stuff sometimes about the subject. I noticed it was me and another classmate, another City Hall employee, Janice Moffett, who responded to it, mostly. He'd find funny pictures, and kind of like those Larry Wild books. I've really drawn him way too heavy. Now, I've seen Christopher, you're in good shape, it looks like. Steve was frail thin, almost. And I believe he was combing his hair over. He was combing his hair over. I think he was combing his hair over back when we were at City Hall 30 years ago. But there we go. Steve, a little tribute. I didn't expect to do this off the top of my head. Steve Voorhees tribute. But, how about that? Whatever that's worth. What else should I do? That was with a brush pen, by the way. It's not an easy brush pen to handle, but results are okay. What else should I do? Oh, I'm cutting this off. I somehow figured how to do the zoom in and zoom out, but then I also turned off somehow this thing, so I won't do that again. What else? I hope you'll. So that was my fellow I worked with at City Hall, Steve Voorhees, who died this past week at 77. There you go. There's my Frosty root beer. I don't think you can get A&W root beer anyplace. Oh, I hadn't opened the shit. They accidentally. It was funny. I stopped at Coney Island in Bushnell, and I ordered their sweet Southern lemonade, which actually wasn't. Something was wrong with that. But anyway, but the guy accidentally poured me a root beer. Not interesting. I had no idea. I'd never seen him before. He'd never seen me. Poured me a root beer. And I don't drink soft drinks, so that's the closest I get. Or Frosty product. There we go. Now what to draw? A turkey. Yes, I just did it here. I'll share this. You just mentioned it. That's easy to pull out. Here's my Christmas print as it is now. And I'm keeping some open areas like here, and where I have some open areas that I haven't quite filled in case I might drop a critter in. One critter I dropped in was this turkey right there. You see him in there? There's a turkey, wild Florida turkey. So he's in there. And we'll see. That's one thing that slows me down when I start rethinking and trying to. I just need to do it and get it done. I made this possum too big, so I got to make the possum smaller, and that's going to give me more room. I've often put baby possums in this, so I may still do that. Love to finish this tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. And I could actually use this brush because, see, I would like to get that a little heavier, a little darker. And these, when I get these printed, they're free to whoever I happen to get to. I'd love to have these by next week. I'm teaching another Florida history class the 25th, back again in Melbourne. I'd love to have these to hand out while I'm in the area. And I have onion rings here. Gabriel's Sub Shop in Orlando has onion rings. I admit I'm spending more time illustration wise. You can see it right here. I usually don't put this much time into the alligator, but I have. So this is going to clock in at a good, maybe even 20 hours in the end. Sometimes I've done these as quick as 6 or 7 hours. I'm definitely piling in hours in this. I'm drawing differently, is what it is. So I get that. Yeah, yep, I do have a hog in here. I should have drawn them differently, and I feel bad I didn't quite get it. Usually when I put a hog in one of these, I do it really, really well, and this time I was trying to angle the sandwich going in with this cup that this red-shouldered hawk has on the owl, and I kind of got myself trapped here, and it doesn't look quite right, but oh well. You try and you try. The other thing I haven't quite figured out is how I'm doing this upper area up here. I've got this whole area up here to deal with. Oh, I can't quite pull this down. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do about this yet, because I've got that. I usually fill this whole board. I'm not. I'm only going up to a point, and I may have messed this up. I may have messed it up. I may have to squish it in a little bit. Didn't mean to do that, but I think that's what I'm going to have to do. And I think I got to go over this pencil wise. I have a yellow Florida. Oh, I'm seeing something else. Oh, our state butterflies here, but see, my problem is I put this up here, and so this should be the top of the drawing. So I might raise him up here because I'm going to have some space here, so I can maybe even get another bird. I really want to get the my Neil Adams influences come in here. I really want to get the impression that this bird here is out near you and over this alligator. Now here's the real tricky thing for me. This is the first I'm doing. I want to do a second one, but my first goal is to get the first one done, and I'll go do the second. Hopefully that, I got to work on that a little bit to get a little bit more depth there. But how's that? Yeah, I've had my many encounters with hog. I got this little frog guy. I'm really working more toward using reference. Here I got a little loosey-goosey. That's the other thing that hurt me here. I got a loosey-goosey with this because I don't have this angle of a hog. In fact, I just had a friend post a picture of one. It wasn't you. Who was it that just posted a picture? Where the hell were they? They were somewhere, and they encountered hog, I can't remember who it was now. And I snapped the photo, but it was in my phone, so I couldn't have a chance to mark who did it. But anyway, it was the angle I needed. Too late. Well, and if I could cross your path or you cross my path, I'll give you one. All right, where am I? Did I get to this? Oh, that's because I'm using a brush. This is a Koi coloring brush pen. I'm pretty certain I got one of these over at the pop shelf. Yeah, I was looking at that trail when I was taking 301 up. That's right there at 75, and I thought, oh, I should go, but I was so tired. In fact, I got back here, I sat down and fell asleep. Woke up, oh my God, what time is it? 6 o'clock. I'd only, it was a 15-minute nap, basically. So tired. And the Christmas stuff is definitely out now. If you saw my post with Marguerite Kavanaugh, her birthday yesterday, they were so nice over at Scoops. Gave her a gift certificate. And the owner, Anne, lost her husband a year after Marguerite lost hers. Gosh, this is all about death today. It's all about death. So, and we weren't really, I wasn't, neither Marguerite nor I had she mentioned that too. We didn't know that her husband, Paul, had died. And oddly enough, the services were the same place that Marguerite's husband had his services. I was at his funeral, or at his service. I didn't really know J.R. Kavanaugh. Me and Marguerite know each other because of politics. J.R. never stepped into that, though he felt apparently stronger than both of us combined about issues. He never got involved. Because Marguerite was a state committee woman and so much else. I only really encountered him in the 20 years twice. Saw him a few times, but we waved from a distance. One thing was, I'm not a horse person. I'm not racing horses. I'm not interested in, never had enough money. I'm sure Marguerite told him he was always selling a horse. If he'd run into Christopher would walk away probably owning a 16th of a horse, a racehorse. That was JR. I never had enough money to do that anyway, and I think that's it. Marguerite's husband, JR, stood about 6'4" or something like that. He was very tall. And it's funny, he was always hanging out over at the racetrack, which was just down the street from me. Where a ton of horses you see Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes and so on, they were trained right there. And I find that all interesting and fascinating in Florida history, but I'm not really, it's like most sports, I just don't really care. We'll make this a hiking Santa since Christopher. After getting with Daryl Kirby, I was hoping I was going to get right back to my regular hiking routine, but that has not occurred. I'm trying to be responsible in getting my work done. That's one thing. I've actually got a schedule. Part of my trip to Dade City on Saturday is to meet up with a writer. I'm doing a book for. And we could go over the illustrations, but I haven't had a chance to get to her project, so I'll be doing that here the next few days. I'm going somewhere Tuesday, but I'm not going anywhere again until Saturday. I've canceled some other things I was going to be doing because I've got to try to get the work done. I don't want to have get back to. By golly. And I've mentioned anyone who wants to learn about drawing, wants to ask questions, if they come on here, they can do that. I'm not really interested in teaching a class. I don't want to encourage bad ideas. Young lady at the caregivers event, I was volunteering and doing drawings yesterday. I think it was there. Was it there? I don't remember. Anyway, wanted to show me some artwork, and she was asking about, like she was thinking of job stuff, and I just told her, just don't think about it that way. There's just pretty much impossible. It's like this, as I say, one time I would do drawing and there would be crowds around me. All through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, but as 2000s wore on, those crowds, not just me, everybody has experienced this. And this is specifically Americans, by the way. And you can see there are only just a few people here. I'm not really touched into the international crowd too much here. So that's another reason I'm interested in doing the Florida history ones. In fact, I like to do them hiking. I played with it a few years ago, doing some being outside and telling some Florida history stuff. But now I have a backdrop I can use over here of Florida history books. So we'll see. I may not do it till next year, beginning of next year. We'll see. If I live so long, there's that too. Talking to my cousin on my family side, it's typically dropping off the. Oh, there we go. That look okay. I should put his foot out. Oops. And I put a big stick here, and I thought I might have him reacting to something, but I kind of put a stick in the way. I remember where that young lady was that wanted to show me artwork now. I can't even remember. What the heck was that? I don't think it was at the event. It was somewhere else. They're going to reach back and go get it. Where the heck was I guess it was at the ice cream shop. Somebody there was working there. I could look at their artwork. Most don't have the, again, I'm fortunate to grow up when I did, where I had people I could admire that was quite good. Oh, I was going to share what I picked up today. It's in the car. I'll share it another time. And we're going to do that. No. It's in the car. I didn't get it out of the car. It's a mug with the Exxon Tiger on it. It was part of what I did today. I'll share it another time. Very tickled about that. I don't know why I have so many things, so much. But it just happened to pop up. And it happened to pop up that I was going to Bushnell to the Methodist Church for the Veterans event, and all tied in. I said, okay, that's not for me. I'll go get it. So I did. But Bob Jones did the Exxon Tiger. I'm a big fan of Bob Jones. He had a big influence on me. He just did a wonderful job drawing critters like this. Not fast. I don't know how fast he was, actually. But he's got the Exxon Tiger. The lady, actually, it's the bishop at the Methodist Church. She thought it was Tony the Tiger. I said, nope. That's the Exxon Tiger by Mr. Robert Jones. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my gosh, I didn't know I was breaking. How'd that happen, even? Sorry about that. No good having it. Now, it looks like he's looking up, though, so maybe I'll... Well, thank you, Christopher, for interacting here. I appreciate it. It's how I do this stuff best, is with an audience that interacts with me. I'm not someone that I work opposite. I can't take quiet, actually, to get work done. I need noise. It's 46 years of the caricature thing with crowds around all the time. And yeah, I made all this up as I'm drawing. I had no plan to do any of this. One thing I've been doing on the Christmas print illustration is adding more fine lines, which I haven't really done much of. It's very dangerous because by the time it gets reduced, you don't see them anyway. But I like to get that texture. I'm doing drawings to tell stories. I don't care about the drawing part. In fact, I was supposed to do an event Thursday, but it turned out they were thinking I was coming there just to do drawings. No. I'm there to tell stories. That's all I want to do. And if I'm not doing that, I don't want to do it. If I can't use my brain, it ain't worth it. Protect, take care of your brain. It's what will get you through life. Just adds my hyperactivity. I can put the lines in really fast. we time-wise? 7:55. All right, well, I'm about to pull the plug if nothing else. I don't know when. I may come back sometime tomorrow to work on the Christmas print. I have this pencil drawing I have to get done first. I get that done because I'd love to get the Christmas thing done. Now, I am using some reference there to keep myself in a little better order. This is a pilot fine liner. I've used these since they came out in the 70s. Used these when I was in Robert E. Lee Junior High School. I did. I don't think I bought them because we were really poor, but I think the school bought them or somehow we got them. If I come on tomorrow, I'll be early, not late, probably. I just get tired at this time, especially after a day like today where I'm in Bushnell and I'm over here and I'm over there. I doubt I'll go live Tuesday. I'm going to be tired Tuesday, I think. Sure. I think the thing, you really give more of a sense with a fine line like this of there being fur, which can be hard to do. But doing line work like this really makes that easy. You kind of go outside the lines, gives it more of a fur feel. All right. And hope I think I can do a live next Sunday. I didn't do a live at Facebook yesterday. I probably won't do one Saturday. I know I won't do one Saturday. I'll be at an event drawing the rare caricatures I almost never do anymore. That'll be the third time in 2 months I've done that. All for a similar cause, all for the same cause. But I'll try to make sure I come back here live next week. Next Sunday, 7. So there you go. Oh, and I guess I should indicate there's a trail here. None of this works. I'm supposed to take some folks on a hiking trip. A political organization. And we'll probably talk about that Tuesday when I'm over in that. It's for the same organization as the Congresswoman event. Because I was told they want to do it before the end of the month. But they haven't got back to me because they want me to lead the hike. Maybe I'll see if Christopher wants to lead the hike. I need to hike. I need to get outside, put some miles in. But thank you all for watching and being around. And get your Christmas tree up. Get your neighbor's Christmas tree up. Get everybody's Christmas tree up. Or whatever. No, it's not too early. Should we put a Christmas tree up for another month, I guess? Thank you. Oh, I didn't sign it. And 11:09. Thank you for watching, being a part of things. I'll see y'all next time. Take care. Rob Smith here. Good night. Good night.